In last few days, one hot topic of discussion in the tech world is about a Prime Video tech blog post which is mostly getting portrayed as Prime Video's shift from microservice to monolith. So did Prime Video ditch microservice for monolith? Well, the short answer is no. They didn't switch from microservice to monolith. Then what's the article about? Let's find out. What Prime Video did was an improvement on one of the parts of the whole system, the defect detection system used for automatically identifying any quality issues in the video streaming. The initial version of the service consisted of distributed components using serverless components like AWS Lambda, AWS step functions. As the article states, it was a good choice considering how quickly they could build it. Also, as intended with microservice approach, this would allow them to scale each service independently. However, this didn't turn out as they thought it would. They started hitting the scaling limit at around 5% of the expected load. With this architecture, the cost of all components was going to be too high to run at a large scale. The main issue was with the orchestration management by step functions. For every second of the stream, there were multiple state transitions performed, due to which they were quickly hitting the limits. Also, the step functions are charged per state transition. The second problem was the usage of the S3 bucket to temporarily upload images from the media conversion service for the defect detectors to process it later. However, these calls to S3 at this large scale turned out to be too expensive. So what did they do? They decided to take a step back and rethink the architecture. They understood that the distributed approach wasn't bringing a lot of benefits as it was supposed to in this particular case. So they packed all the components into a single process. This eliminated the need for an S3 bucket for temporarily storing images. Now this could happen in memory. The high-level architecture still remained the same. This allowed them to reuse a lot of code and quickly migrate to the new architecture. Of course, they had to make few additional changes to make it more efficient, like an approach to vertically scaling detectors within the same instance, or a lightweight orchestrator to distribute the customer requests between ECS instances. So yes, they did take a monolithic approach for a part of the system, but not for the whole Prime Video. What can we learn from this post? There are multiple ways in which you could architect an application. There are various architectural styles available like microservice, monolith, there was service-oriented architecture, we have layered architecture. But what works for you is entirely based on your own use case. Microservice or serverless components are great tools to work at high scale, but whether to use them over monolithic approach has to be decided on a case-to-case basis. In this case, moving to monolith reduced their infrastructure cost by 90%. It also increased their scaling capabilities. In software architecture, there is no one-size-fits-for-all solution. It's just a set of compromises based on the variables and uncertainties you are playing with. So instead of having a rigid mindset about any particular architectural style, we should be open to different patterns and styles and adopt whichever is suited best in a particular case. We should also be open to change. Like in this scenario, they did. They identified a problem and they were ready to take a step back and take a totally different or a non-obvious approach to solve the problem. Another joke running around is that by this improvement, Prime Video incurred losses to AWS, which is their own entity. From my point of view, it was a win-win for both AWS and Prime Video. Prime Video was able to save on infrastructure cost by 90%, and by using lesser infrastructure, the same was available for external customers and AWS could make more money. It was like owning a grocery store and taking supplies from your own store for your kitchen. The more you consume from your own store, you are making lesser money. The more optimized is your usage, the more it benefits your own business. So that's it for today. I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there and share my thoughts on this. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Let the videos reach other like-minded folks. The next video in the .NET microservice series will be out soon. If you haven't watched the previous videos, you can click the link here to watch those. This is Sanal and you were watching OmegaCodex. Thanks for staying till the end. See you in the next one. Adios.